Hello and welcome to episode 22 of our Timberborn update for hard mode Let's Play with the Iron Teeth faction. We're here, well, 2/3 of the way through the drought here in cycle 30. Last time we turned this district into a bot district. Well, almost completely. There's a few more things we have to clean up. We'll address those in a minute. And we started doing a couple of improvements here to District 2. And we have some stuff over here in District 3 to take care of as well. And we'll be working on a lot of that today, as well as improving general well-being and a few other things, expanding our area over here, adding some more engines, and making sure that we're able to keep up with our power demand, ever escalating, because our gravity batteries are all the way down. And part of that's going to be, of course, expanding power production over here in the bot district, since we have so many trees that are able to be cut. And actually, we'll go ahead and start some of these improvements by coming over here and switching these over to bots. I can't believe we hadn't done this already. But a couple of you pointed out in the comments that we had not, in fact, switched anything over here relating to trees into bots. So we'll go ahead and make sure that we have all of that taken care of. Good to go. Oh, I clicked no. Never mind. Now this is fixed, the Tapper Shack. And in fact, I had hit no there as well. So that's taken care of. And we'll need to make sure we have the correct amount of bots, which we do not. We're missing 5 jobs. 5 jobs are not filled, so we'll have to come over here into our main district. And, well, we actually only have 2 available. So we're going to need to, I guess, kind of gradually bring those guys back in. So let's just do that real quick. We'll bring in those 2, and then we'll have to bring in 3 more later. Have a couple other things we can do, including getting rid of the large barracks, because we obviously don't need that for beavers, because beavers aren't here. So that's gone. They can make use of that space. And the water tank, I actually think we should probably leave this here, because in the event that we need to fill in these trenches here, it would be very nice to have. And also, there's never anything wrong with just, leaving water here. That's fine. Other than that, we should be adding more engines and stuff here, because we do have a demand of 8,500 horsepower currently, and that's only going to go up. So we need at minimum, let's see, they're 400 apiece. Math is hard, so bear with me. We need at least 6 more, probably 7, at least. And that's going to be an interesting problem to solve based on the layout of, well, everything over here. But we can come back to that at a future point in time. We also have all this space to build in. We keep the ugliness of these engines mostly contained over here. Well, and up here also. But, of course, eventually the goal is to turn this into a large, well, aquatic power generation area here, which is part of why we are starting the process of terraforming this. We're going to be detonating most of this down and then filling this side in with the terraforming stuff. Except we haven't unlocked it yet, and that's going to prove to be a little bit of a problem, because we don't have a lot of science. But good news is these guys are on the task. We got 5 of these guys in inventors. I'm not going to build any of the number crunchers, because those take a ton of power that we can't really afford to spare, at least not yet. So what we'll do instead is we'll come up here, do some more additions to our engines right here. Now I think, depending on how we have this laid out, we have trees right here, so I really can't put one here. I could put one here, or we could come over here and actually just have these lined up right like so. Just those 2. I'll make sure. I don't need to pause the game. I need to pause the engine construction. This will be very, very easy for us to go ahead and take care of here. Doesn't have to be anything super complicated, just has to work. The unfortunate part, though, is that these are kind of annoying to construct if you only have access from one side. So we'll just need to make sure that we're keeping abreast of all of that stuff. These guys are going to come in here and they're going to try and build everything all at once in the order that it was placed down. Which really means I probably should be a little bit more careful about how I put things down, but my brain just does not work that way. So it's just easier to just pause this. But aside from fixing the power stuff and the couple things that I caught thanks to you guys in the comments over here with regard to employment of the bots, there are a few other things in this district specifically. Like, for example, this district crossing does not have bots employed on this side, which is now fixed. This side shouldn't be affected by that because there are two separate buildings and we're still good to go. So in reality, we actually need another 7, at least, bots over here. And I think we can leave this alone for a little while. I know this is not very optimal in terms of how stuff is moved around here, but it's fine. Not going to have to worry about it. Now, as far as this district, there are a lot of things that we really should be doing here, adding for recreational purposes, but our main problem is, of course, that all of this is underwater for most of the time during the wet season and then the first week or so of a drought. So we really can't be using this ground, for example, to put temples or campfires or anything. So what we need to be doing instead is probably just brute forcing some of this to turn into usable space with the help of dynamite. So we're going to just go ahead and detonate most of this right here and put in... I don't know if I can fit a temple. I probably can't fit a temple unless I'm able to also detonate. Would that make this 4? I think this would make this 4. 4x4. I would have to move here. I don't know, it's a complicated thing because I want to put in a temple, but the temple's a 5x5 block, so which means I would have to put in all sorts of stuff over here, and it just isn't going to fit unless we extend it, because remember, the temple can only be placed on the ground, just like the campfire. So unless we want to get into terraforming, which we do not have the resources to do at this exact moment in time, it's just not happening. Oh, this is too far away for the beavers to get to anyway, so let's give them a chance here with our pathing. I think that should let us get all the way over there, and it does. So the thinking is by getting rid of one of these things. I think if we move this staircase to get to this Lido, move that from this block to this block, we can actually reclaim some of this land. So let's, well, it's going to be kind of hard when these guys are down here. So if I can't pause the Lido, well, I guess that makes sense. You can't stop somebody from going into a hole in the ground. That wouldn't make any sense. But if we want to be able to use all of this land, 5x5, we have to have all of this available. So I'm actually not even sure it's possible for us to really make appropriate use of all this. But we're going to try. Maybe a bit backwards, maybe a bit weird, but hey, that's how we do things here. The paths can always be on platforms. That is always an option. We just have to make sure that we're able to effectively utilize everything. So we'll let them go through here and do all that. And now that nobody's in here, oh no, it's too low. Now they can't go in there. Great, perfect. Problem solved, as the autosave almost causes me to lose my mind here. So we're going to replace those wooden stairs here, unless I can think of... Alright, so that'll be 5, that'll be 4. Let's actually move this back one spot. I think this will be what we need to do here. And then just have this built up, and then we can put the temple in this section of 5 as soon as everything else is put in place. So we'll give that a shot. We'll see if that is a tenable solution. I just wish there was an easier way to retain water here. I mean, I guess we could, if we really felt like it, we could just put a bunch of dams here and let it stay at half of a block high while everything else drains away, but that's not really going to solve anything, because then that half a block of water will just get disappeared in a week anyway. So that's why we're not doing that. Seems to be kind of a an unfortunate reality there. Let's go ahead and put in that piece there, and then once that's done, we can fit in the rest of these in order, and then build this. Of course, it's not working because it's not connected, but now it is. Alright, problem solved. Bring that guy in there, one piece at a time. Now, I also could have just gotten rid of some of these pine trees, but ideally we're going to be wanting to have access to all of the pine resin, which we currently do. We have a pretty good amount. We've over 500. But it's one of those things that you kind of have to just do whatever you can whenever you can do it. Alright, so we are not putting these here because we're out of... Really? We're out of dynamite? Is it all stored over here? It must be. Oh, hold on. Why are these trees... Oh. There's not enough water. Now that's a bit annoying. I did not think that was going to be a thing, but these trees aren't going to die for another 13 days, so I guess this is fine. The kohlrabi, on the other hand, is not faring quite so well. Now, this district does not have a ton of storage for kohlrabi. It looks like we only have enough storage for, wow, about 60. And then the rest is in farms. So we can actually go ahead and put in, I know this might seem kind of dumb to some of you, but if we put in a large warehouse, say that 5 times fast, for the kohlrabi, that will be an actual good use of some storage space. Since we have so much of it, and it doesn't go bad unless you can't harvest it. Oh, I just need a better place to stick these things. I guess... Oh, so I want it to be close to where everybody lives. Which, unfortunately, means we're going to have to game the system a little bit. Now, all of this is still connected. But if I get rid of that, of course, they can't do it. But the question is, can they get all of this built in 1.4 days? Probably not. But then again, it also doesn't matter. And then also, I could have just put a water dump over here and been done with it, but I decided that wasn't important. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's really, really completely fine. But I should have thought about this earlier and taken care of that before it became a problem. Because right now, all of this is pretty much guaranteed to die. Not that we are desperate to retain it or anything, but it is a shame to have stuff go to waste. Which is why I'm building the enormous 1,200 capacity storage for it. Alright, so that's taken care of. Let's come back here and get rid of all of that. Put in our large warehouse right here, set it for kohlrabi. And they are not going to finish this before all of this dies. It's just not how this works, but it's a thought that counts. And the future crops that will grow in will be able to be harvested and placed here. And it'll be a nice emergency food supply for the entire rest of the map once everything is taken care of. So I think we can pretty safely leave that alone. We have 3 unassigned bots. So we're going to come on over here and add to our minimum, go up to 42. They can start taking care of all that stuff. It looks like this is ready now for us to unpause. Make sure that's good to go. Should add a little bit in the way of power there. And now, all these trees are cut down. This guy has nothing left to do, so you can go do literally anything else. It does not matter to me. And I believe we're going to want to go ahead and get this set up how we want it. We're going to have a straight line here. And then I think if we have it, see, 5 blocks wide. Is that 5 or 6? I can't count. That's 5. That is wide enough for us to put in 2 of these large water wheels right next to each other. But we really probably should have it only be 4 blocks wide. And since we're going to deepen it, that shouldn't be an issue. We need to have space on both sides, of course, for the, I don't know, axle housing, whatever you want to call it. And it would be really nice if this was done before the next temperate season, but we know that's not going to happen. It's just not tenable. So what we're going to end up doing here, I believe, easiest to do would be to just, since this is already 2 segments deep, would be to just blast all of this down 2 spots. Come down in here with another segment of stairs. And just go ahead and start by going all the way through this. I guess it's not the end of the world if they're all 5 wide, but we are going to want to have space on one side for the purpose of having the axles accessible. So maybe this side would be a good place to do that, because this is, let's see, excuse me while I think out loud here. This is 4 wide. So if we had this actually come all the way down, it would be completely straight, but it's not because this comes out here. So I think it's going to be kind of unavoidable for there to be some sort of a kink in it. Not that it matters, as long as we aren't building in that spot. So I guess we can go ahead and start here. We could also, you know, just put levees here. But if we have a reason to put bots to work at doing terraforming things, since I almost never use that in the playthrough, I thought that would be a fun departure from the normal way of doing things. But for right now, we have 129 dynamite. We're not going to be able to do all of this in one go. So we are going to need to make sure that we can do different segments. The reason I'm doing this first is because that would get us down to the minimum level required with our 2 depth. And then we'll have to do all of this in segments to make sure that nothing actually, you know, goes incredibly poorly. So, yeah, don't mind me while I exercise my brain muscles poorly. Alright, so these are in place. Now generating 6,800 horsepower, which is excellent news. And we have space up here to be putting in engines right like so. That's going to be nice to have those there, I believe. Yeah, we're going to want to do that. Put this guy down like so. We can actually build... Oh, we could put these on top of each other. That would be a very efficient, good use of space. Well, kind of, because we couldn't get into the front of this. Oh, boy. Well, we'll figure it out. Not going to be the worst thing ever. Just a little slightly dysfunctional, maybe. Maybe if I'd planned this just a tiny bit better, it wouldn't be quite so weird. Well, they'll take care of all that. We've got 2.2 days left until all of these come back. I am going to preemptively set that to 1.5. And how is this? Okay, that's actually kind of low. I'm going to make sure we don't get caught off guard again. That's what I'm trying to get at. Set these to 2.5, and then I'm not worried about the little backfill guy here. We'll take care of him in due time. Yeah, but they're going to be quite slow to take care of all of this. But we'll be all right. It's just one of those things that's going to take a while. Now, in terms of explosives making, that's a printing press. This needs to be a bot doing this, so it can go 24/7. Unfortunately, we don't have the science quite yet be doing that, but they are working. It's just not a very fast process, so we are going to run out of time for that. But if we can get all of this, at the very least, taken care of, all good to go in terms of depth, then I think we're going to be in very good shape moving forward here. Just waiting on a couple more. Of course, these guys are going to take their sweet time doing all that. That's fine. Now, other areas of concern. You know, we hadn't even done any of this because I was waiting. So let's go ahead and do that. Of course, we're going to have to set these up as well. But now that that's done, we can reroute these. And it looks like we're going to be in really good shape here. We're going to have some extra space around the back, and that's fine. How's our kohlrabi storage? I got 246 before all these died. That is perfect. Now we have extra emergency food. No way to be mad about that. Alright, so that's looking okay. Let's put in another one of these guys right here. You know the drill at this point. Get that all connected up. And there you have it. Now, theoretically, I can hook one up here, but they're not going to be able to get into it. So instead, what I think we'll end up doing is actually extending out. Now, bear with me. This is just a little galaxy-brained here. We'll stick in a thing right here, and then we can actually come across like so and put an engine in this way. And that will be accessible via path here. Now, this is absolutely a scourge upon, I can't say humanity, I guess, because canonically in this game, the beavers have taken over the earth after the humans all died. So it's a scourge upon beaverkind. It's a disgusting monument to industrialization and excess, but it's the Iron Teeth, so that's what they do. That's fine. So we'll just leave that alone like it is, and we'll be a-okay. So what that's going to allow us to do over here, I think they can still get at all of this, is we can now put in another... why would I click on the water wheel thing? We can put in one of these guys right here, and then that can just back up directly to it. Or we could put in this guy facing the other way, but I think for the sake of what we're trying to do right now, this works a little better. I'm not going to put it in quite yet, because I do want them to make sure they can do this first. Not divert all of our resources away from other stuff. Now, it is half a day left. These are just about done. I got one more stick of dynamite I want to put in. So let's super prioritize that. But I'm going to go ahead and detonate all of these, because when I set these off, I want that to be included, which means these also need to be super prioritized as well. But now that that's taken care of, we can start getting these done. It's going to be a whole lot of this kind of stuff, just blasting down one segment at a time, as much as they're able to reach. Oh, but the day is over, so guess what? They're done. They're not going to get this finished. Now, we don't have any builders set to be bots, but we can fix that because we have available bots, and they'll take care of the work during the night. I really want to make sure that this is mostly at least excavated or blown up before we have the end of the temperate cycle, so we can actually have use of all this water back here. Yeah, it's going to take a long time, but that's fine. That's how these things work. All right, so end of day 30. About to start cycle 31. And there you go. All right. Drought is over. Water coming back. We now have the capacity here to detonate these. That is a beautiful sound. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now this is the correct width, correct depth. We just have to fill in on the back here and continue this all the way across. And remember, we can only go in certain segments where they can reach everything, because otherwise makes it impossible to place all the dynamite. I know that's kind of frustrating to watch, but that's it's just how this stuff works. Okay, and what are we waiting for here? Did I already have all of these prioritized? Yes. I thought I had. There we go. Alright, now that those very annoying sounds are almost done. Let's come over here with our other deal. And I believe I didn't have... This is just one block off. So now I've got to decide how I want this to be set up here, because I can... The way this is set up, actually, you know, this would work out pretty much perfectly for us to just stick in another... Oh, yeah, just about. Not a terrible idea. Not the most beautiful thing ever, no, but it's getting somewhere. So that means we're going to have some sort of a pathway to come up here. I guess we'll just go ahead and stick that right there. No real rhyme or reason except that's easiest, fastest connection. Okay, so that's going to be preset to be the lowest possible priority workplace. Looking good. We shouldn't have any flooding because I opened this beforehand. Yeah, looking nice. All right, let's get these going. Come back here with all of this like we always do. Now the problem is going to become having enough dynamite, but we have enough science now to make sure we can go ahead and set this to be bots only, and I clicked no again because I'm used to yes being on the left. There we go. There we go. No, Ironbot 145 is going to get to work over here and take care of all of that for us. Now let's see, how much power... Okay, now we're intermittently flooding here for what reason? Why? I guess we probably should start to deepen this to accommodate a little bit more flow. Maybe that's part of the reason this stuff is the way it is. I don't know, maybe we just need to widen this channel, but I will go ahead and just stick in some of this stuff. I know we can't get on the other side, but having a little bit more capacity probably wouldn't hurt, as well as taking a look-see underneath all of this. Yeah, we probably... Oh, yeah, this is a choke point right here. But I don't think... Yeah, there's a building on top of it, so we kind of can't get away with that. Oh, the actual problem is right here. This is only one block wide. So this actually... This whole thing needs to be demolished. I think we can live without this one farmhouse. We can just go ahead and detonate. Actually, we'll go ahead and do 3 of these. I think is going to work out fine. Yeah, give the water a little bit more of a path to escape. And then we'll just build over this with our platforms, like we usually do. Alright, so that's looking okay. How are we doing over here? Any of these? Oh, you got to be kidding me. We're already getting the drought warning. Well, I mean, that's the way this goes. It is hard mode. But we're not, if it's only 3 more days of this, then we're not going to get nearly as much water brought back in here as we need. And that is kind of a problem. I don't know, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead, since this is already taken care of. Beautiful. We can, at the very least, put in our temple here. I guess probably should be facing this way. And then a campfire can actually go right here in this spot, maximizing use of our space. And guess what? Shrubberies. There we go. That's looking nice there. Hopefully they can make use of all this stuff. It's not the most beautiful thing on the face of the earth, but it is functional. These are all set correctly. We are actually generating more power than we're using, which is perfect. Wonderful news. I'd feel better if these gravity batteries were ascending just a bit faster. But that is what ends up happening. It's good to see that's all done. So we are making progress, even if it isn't the fastest, most efficient, best thing ever. We just have to now figure out how to get all of this built in the next drought cycle. Alright, so that is going to be nice to have that done. And then, of course, like I said, we'll be building up this side with the terraforming, even though the levees would be substantially faster. It's supposed to be a challenge. It's hard mode. Well, I know I've done like 3 things that are harder than hard mode at this point. But if you take the easy way out by just building levees instead of going through the excruciating pain of setting up all the terraforming stuff, then why are you here? Why bother? We're here to be challenged and also subject to my incredibly terrible decision-making process. Speaking of, Kohlrabi's store is not any higher up, but we do have some new stuff growing. And we are outflowing water here. Not making a ton of power, but we are outflowing. We have 1.6 days left to fill this up, another block and a half. And I gotta say, folks, I don't see it happening. But we'll give them a chance. Anyway, to take care of all this, I don't care to have this filled up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually lower this down another half block. Let this kind of surge flood everything. And make its way down here just a little bit faster. This will take a while for all of this to evaporate. And the less of it that goes out these, the better that is. Because this is pretty much already full anyway, coming through here. And yes, I know, it all pretty much goes to the same place. But it comes out a little faster this way. And we can't forget, this is going to need water too, so maybe we're about to be in a spot where we should put in a water dump just in case. So we can go ahead and just stick that guy in there. And just make sure that is monitored appropriately. And at least that side will be safe. We'll put another one in over here. Just make these incredibly low priority workplaces. But if we need to, we can turn those on and they'll be in much better shape. So all of this to say, I wish the temperate season was just a little bit longer. Look, they haven't even put these dynamites in yet because they've been so busy up here. Although this is the more important part. It is the most important thing that they could be doing here currently. It's putting these in. But, I mean, even that seems like they're having troubles with. Well, that's fine. Let's see. So this is coming out here, coming out here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of water lapping over the areas here, kind of, until it decides to go somewhere else. Just trying to get a little bit of this flooded here so we can at least use these Lidos. We got another half a day. We should be all right. Should be fine. Now, this is all connected properly. Just need to make sure it's prioritized. Engine sound is super annoying. I wish I could turn those off when I'm clicking like 800 of them. Ugh. All right, that's done. Well, these are rising, which is good. Wish it was a little faster. But hey, we're making, wow, we're making 10,000 plus. That's good to see. Okay. All right, come on, put this thing in here. There we go. Blow all that up. Pause once again. Then we'll put our pathway back in like that. And that should allow the water to escape a little easier once we have water coming back in again, which we, again, do not know what that's going to be. Go ahead and turn those off. Come over here and do the same. I know it's not going to get much higher in 0.2 days, but any amount of it that we can save is worth saving. Now, the real question is going to be how long of a drought this will be, because that's going to significantly affect what we do for the rest of the episode. If it's a short one, then hey, we could probably finish it. But if it's a long one, we're going to have to cut it in half easy. And then that's going to be some other different story entirely. All right, so let's find out. Start of day 6, start of the drought, 29 days. All right, maximum, here we go again. Well, so we're definitely not finishing that one today. That'll be on Thursday's video. We'll conclude this drought. But we do still have enough time left to get a little bit of something done. Depending on how we want to have the rest of this set up. Wow, this is actually over full? How in the world did that happen? All right, so I'll tell you what, we'll just let that out the back real quick. Are these still going? They shouldn't be. All right, well, that's taken care of there. That will hopefully stop most of that. But we did get enough water in here to actually have these Lidos functional. It will be gone in, I'm sure, like 5 or 6 days. So we might end up needing to get into some more water restoration activities. Like, look how low this is. These have to be on, which is a shame, because now I'm going to have to put some bots into this. I have 15 open jobs. Now, granted, a lot of those are these engines, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, okay. 15 engines, which means none of these should be occupied. God, that sound is so annoying. Guess we'll just have these guys put to work here. I don't have any extra... Oh, I have 9 extra bots. Never mind. So we'll bring in... I'll bring in 3 more bots over here. See if we can make any better use of those. Because I can hire more at the hauling post easily. We have 50 unemployed beavers. And 26 homeless ones. So I don't think we need to have so many of these breeding pods anymore. So let's actually retire. Okay, that's not even started. We're going to retire these 4 just as soon as the beavers come out. And I hate that I'm going to have to watch this now. Well, this specific one. I don't want to waste a beaver that's already being grown, so we will let those come out, but then we will destroy at least these 4, including the one I already got rid of. Because we have a lot of beavers that we don't need. Yeah, we have 333 bio beavers and 85 bots. So I think we're doing pretty well, all things considered. Now this guy, to get his paper, probably has to go all over the place. I don't even know where the paper storage is over here. I don't know, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just prioritize this by haulers because we have the ability to do that. And since we have so many unemployed biobeavers, I'm just going to send that back to the biobeaver employment in the hauling post. Should help us out quite a bit. And our other one over here can be biobeavers as well. And now look at that, I have 27 unemployed bots. Which means I can now come over here and click on the correct building. We already have 10 here. I'm going to up our hauling post to 10. And then I think we'll do 5 in this side of the district. Not that it's really going to matter. 5 in that side of the district crossing, just to have something for them to do. Go up to, say, 50 bots. We can start thinking about putting bots in other districts, or just, you know, automating more of the stuff over here. But the problem is always going to be science. That is kind of the eternal struggle, is finding enough points for that. But we can fix that by putting in more of these inventors, which honestly we should have been doing a very, very long time ago. So I'm just going to go ahead, since we already have the space up here. I'm just going to go ahead and stick in some more of these things. We have so many unemployed beavers. I'm going to go ahead and put up 9 of those here, and I think I can fit another 2 right here without having to do too much more nonsense. So those guys will get right to work as soon as those are ready to go in. We should have science within a pretty short amount of time, which means we can then re-automate most of this to be bot stuff, increase our production substantially as a result, and then maybe even, once we have the science points to research, automate our bot part factories. So pretty much all of this dangerous stuff should be automated. Printing press for the beavers' enjoyment. Probably not the best use of our 1,000 science points right now, so I won't be doing that. But now most of these should all be, should all be good to go. Okay, turn these back to bots. That has not been unlocked yet for bots, that's okay. Alright. Well, that is going to be a big improvement. Did we get our stuff stuck here? Yes, we did. And already this Lido is completely unusable because of how low the water is. But that is just the way things go. Now, as far as this district is concerned, we have 14 open jobs. Of course, that's going to be these engines here, so we don't really need to worry about that. Our water levels are... Oh, they haven't put any here? I thought that's why we had a bot here. I guess I just had to re-trigger that to come in place. And yes, that is why we have this water tank, like I was saying earlier. You never know where you're going to need it to augment what you naturally get if you don't have a long enough cycle to actually fill everything up, which seems to be kind of common. That's fine. Already looking good. Now, how about our explosives? Yes, this is exactly what we want to see. All right, let's get that taken care of. And then this taken care of. And then, once that's all done, then we can get this last little bit taken care of here. And then see just how many of these water wheels we can get put in place before it's too late. Now, other thing, again, we don't have enough science for it, but we should soon. The dirt excavator, the terraforming station, and terrain blocks and all that. Gonna have to have somewhere to go. Now I figured, since this is a bot-only district, back here, this would be a good place to put the excavator and constantly run that. But as some of you pointed out, the terraforming station can only function in the district that it's placed. So we're gonna have to have, well, obviously we're still gonna have bots in this district too, but we're gonna have to have terraforming station here, and then storage for the terrain blocks to be able to actually utilize them. So that will be a fun way to keep a bunch of these guys busy, I suppose. So I think as soon as we have our 2,000 science points, I'm going to unlock the dirt excavator, which again has to be powered. So it's going to have to go probably right here, honestly. We're almost there for science. It's just going to take us probably another day or two in game, and then we'll be able to do that. Everything's looking good here. Is this already back up to 3? It is. It's because that's how I set it. Looking good. We're filling up our kohlrabi storage very slowly. Hopefully we can harvest most of these or it becomes a problem. Now, why do we not have any... Do I not have enough beavers here? I have space for 5 more beavers, and I have 4 undone jobs. So let's go all the way up to 50. There we go, and that should fill up the rest of that stuff. In all honesty, we probably could have more beavers working here just because of the spaces in our district crossings. But I don't have anywhere for them to live right now, so we're not going to worry about that. This should allow us to get most of this stuff harvested. Looking good. Yep, no real complaints there. This district, wow, well-being of 36. I think that's probably mostly due to the temple and stuff going in. Yeah, look at that. We're getting a plus 4.4 from the temple. That's great. Wow. Wow. So that's looking good. Nice to see that. And we also have this last monument. Of course, we can't research it right now because it's 12,000 science points. But we're going to need to put that in every district. Well, every district that has biobeavers. So we'll need to keep an eye out for that. But hey, we have our 2,000 science now, so let's go ahead, research our dirt excavator. And then pick a spot. Right here probably is not the worst place for that to go. I just have to get power to it, so what we'll end up doing, I think, this might actually not be bad to stick it right here, just like that. So let's get rid of the scavenger flags. We can move those somewhere else. Just rebuild them up here, no problem there. And just stick this guy right here for literally no reason whatsoever. Because what that's going to allow us to do is misjudge the spot at which this needs to go. So this actually needs to move over one more. I do apologize. We'll detonate that. Because what we have to do is we have to have all of these connect right here, power-wise. I'll just go ahead and make this a 3-way. Actually, that doesn't need to be a 3-way there. This needs to be a 3-way here. Then this can be a... yeah, that could be that. Then this can come down. It's going to be kind of complicated putting all this stuff in. But I think it'll be fine. Are we going to be able to get dynamite in here is the question. Because I don't think we have storage. Well, we know we have storage for it because it goes in the mine. I don't know why I'm losing my mind about that. Now, the only downside of doing this way is now I have to build a platform in front of the entrance to the mine, or the terraforming station, because the entrance is 1 block higher than everything else. But the power has to go into the side of the block that the entrance is on, so the power has to go down, and the entrance has to go up. Don't really know why it's like that. It just is. So that's fine. Terraforming station, of course, we're going to have to build in the other district. We can't research quite yet. I would really like to start placing blocks before the end of today's episode, so we're going to try our best to make that happen. Now, somebody come over here with some dynamite. I know you have it here. Come up here with the dynamite and place it. There you go. Good job. And boom. So now we can come in with the dirt excavator. And you can see what I'm talking about here with the entrance on the 2nd level. And then the power input on the bottom. So now it might take them a little bit to build this, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It'll sap 200 horsepower, but we are still making more, even with no water flow. Still making more than we need. So that is a very, very good sign. Terraforming station, fortunately, does not require power, so we can put that wherever we want. And we're just going to have to build some sort of a storage for dirt blocks somewhere else on the other side. But once this gets going, which is probably going to be a little bit, it'll start accruing dirt blocks, so we will need to have storage for those, which really doesn't have to be very many. We can just kind of make small ones right here, and that'll end up being fine. We'll just assign all of these to dirt, because most of it's going to be going out into the other district right now anyway. So, we'll come over here with our large pile. Take it all the way out to the scene of the crime. Right here. I think maybe I don't want to put it right in that exact spot. Right here is probably better. Just for the purpose of actually having access to stuff. Maybe it needs to be on this side. Yeah, they're going to come over this way. Don't mind my waffling. We'll stick that right there. That will, that'll work. Now let's detonate these. So that's going to be all done. Now we just have to do this. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of dynamite, which is kind of a problem. And we can't really make any more over here because we don't have the paper generation. We do have other processing. If we wanted to, we could, but it's going to become kind of difficult, I think, to accomplish that. This engine probably doesn't need to be here, but if we got rid of it, that wouldn't actually fill up that much other stuff. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's put a paper mill here, and then I can put a thing there, and we can actually line this with some warehouses for the purpose of storing paper in this district. I think that'll be fine. Which, funnily enough, these have not been unlocked for bots, so I am going to do that now. I know, gasp, I can't use a terraforming station until I have all that science, but no, we'll be fine. Put that there. We do need to be making more dynamite, and we can have it made natively in the district that's going to be using it, so I just wish I could put in something over the top of this water tank. I guess we could move the water tank, but that is kind of a waste to not have that there. Well, at any rate, we're not duty bound to have everything up over the top of this mine area. I just thought it was neat to do that. So since this currently is not flooding, and shouldn't for most of its existence, we can actually put the dynamite explosives factory, whatever you want to call it. Let's put it down here and have the power go into the side, and they can start making stuff there. Sure, it's a little bit circuitous to get all the materials around, but it should be fine. Now let's come back over here. Gotten that ready to go. And we'll get that laid down. And once that's done, then we can finally start coming in here after we research everything else. Oh, we need more, what do you call them? Yeah. Real scientific term there. Inventors. So we'll just litter the top of the hill here with some more of these guys, because we are kind of in desperate need for more inventing to happen. Remember, we can always get rid of these later. This is such an inefficient path layout. Yes, thank you. We are not going to be using these forever. It's just space that I know is not going to be wasted otherwise. So that's fine. I can set this to be a bot building now, as well as this one. There we go, making good progress. Look, we almost have 750 again. Love to see that. Although dirt should be being filled now. I wonder if that's an issue of not being directly connected to that district. We're only connected here to District 2, which does not have storage for dirt. So maybe... Oh, there's no workers available to run the excavator anyway. And we don't have any dirt. So let's fix that. Go up to 54. That should get us most of the way there. I guess we can do 55. That's fine. Yes, the very annoying sound. All right, and there it goes, excavating. Gonna chew away at all the blocks one by one until they're all gone, and then keep giving us dirt anyway, because that makes perfect sense. There'll be I don't know, it's not alchemy because it's not turning something into gold, but basically the same thing, turning air into dirt. I don't know. I'm not an expert in mysticism or anything like that, but we got dirt. So we'll see if they can transport between different districts without the intermediary district having dirt storage. I'm very interested to find out. But now all of that blasting is done, save for maybe having to blast something out here to get our little side pieces in. But now we can pretty easily start putting in these large water wheels just immediately right here. And then figuring out exactly what else it is that we want to be doing. Now, I guess we're not going to need so many to just completely fill this whole thing up. So we don't have to start immediately right here. If we give it a couple of blocks, we could actually kind of condense things in. But I am curious if we're going to be able to get any dirt into here. I guess we'll find out. So we're not storing... Okay, no, we are storing some of it here in the industrial piles, which means we should... Okay, no, they're not going to put it into the other district unless there's a storage. So let's do that. Well, we want to terraform here too, so that's fine. We'll just make this a dirt storage. And that'll work out quite nicely once that's taken care of. The water level being this low is, at day 20 remaining, a little unnerving. I think our water level is going to become perhaps uncomfortably low, which we'll have to deal with that when we get to it. You know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been monitoring these guys. Well, that's fine. Is there any other ones of these in weird locations I can... Aha! Yes, goodbye. It was real quick to do that one. We don't want to get rid of all of them, though. We need to be... Why in the world did I do this? Okay. That's gonna be a fun one to figure out. Look at all this science. Let's take advantage of that now and research terraforming and terrain blocks. I can't. I don't have enough points. All right, well, that's yeah, that's the way it goes. Oh, I need to find somewhere good to put this where the bots are actually going to be able to use it. I don't want to just put it up here, but at the same time, kind of have to. Just to keep it out of the way. We don't have any dirt here yet. Is that because we don't have this built? Oh, okay, no. We have dirt here. That's good. Which means we should... Yep, we're actually receiving dirt here now, which is very good news. Terraforming station might take a little while to build, but should be operational soon. And we can go ahead and research the dirt blocks. Terrain blocks, I'm sorry. Now, when placing these, you got to be mindful of the arrow. The arrow is going to be the direction of placement, where they're going to enter from. So we want this to be facing away from us. And we're going to have to, I believe, do all of this at once, which is going to be an interesting problem to have. So we're going to go ahead and, I guess, start here. And then give it a... Let's give it 2 blocks. And then just set all of these in place. Now, of course, they can't get here quite yet because there are things in the way, including this floodgate that is going to have to disappear. The problem is when I get rid of that, all of this water is going to drain out of here, and then stuff's not going to be peachy keen for all these trees, which we would like to hopefully avoid. So I think what we'll have to do is instead just build platforms here. Don't need to make it any more complicated than it already is. We'll just make an easy bridge for them to come over here. I'll put in a staircase. We will eventually backfill all of this, but we do need to have all of the terrain blocks in place before stuff gets too crazy. Now, how close are we here? We need one more metal block, and it's done. Just need to finish building, and then they can come in. Why is that not? Okay, there we go. All right, now they can get to work. We already had the bots ready to go, so we should see, just as soon as this platform and this wooden staircase is complete, should see beavers start to place these terrain blocks. That would be very, very exciting to actually have that in place, ready to go. Otherwise, though, I think we're doing great. We have 11,000 food stored up. Water is not a problem, has not been a problem for ever. Yeah, they're actually placing terrain blocks. Cool. We do need to get that taken care of. Which I guess they're waiting on a log. I didn't think they needed to bring all that up here. I thought we had storage, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. The good news about putting in terrain blocks while there's water in here is it will actually elevate the level of the water, which is very welcome indeed. The bad news about how we've had this set up is we can't have any more water come up higher than, say, where this path is, because then it's just going to flood everything else. But it is 2 blocks deep, which is what we wanted. We are going to be channeling, of course, all of this in this way. It's going to take a very, very long time. But our terraformers are on the case. Just need to make sure we have adequate charging capabilities for them. I think... Oh, yeah, they can just get up here. That's not a problem. I'm going to unpause 2 more of those so they have a little bit easier access. But yeah, but they should be able to be all good to go. We're just waiting on more dirt to come in, which I think is an issue of the hauling posts not being quite fast enough. They can get the dirt, I believe, yeah, from... This is probably the closest one, although it's probably going to be coming out of here too. No, actually, it's coming out of here. All right, well, that's fine. Just need to get this going. Can I build more than one of these? I can. Oh, that's diabolical. I don't know that I'd ever need to. I think we can just take our sweet time with this. But that is, that's an interesting discovery, to be sure. Now, let's go ahead and place some more of these terrain blocks before we say goodbye for today. Because we're going to have quite a lot more coming in. I think, yeah, we're going to need to do that. That's going to work nice. That is going to be, hopefully, good and hopefully not cause flooding or anything. But now that this is all in place, we can come in over here. And I guess we want to just come all the way across, huh? Now, we don't have to have all of this completely cut off. I just need to be sure that there's a channel for these water wheels that is easily accessible and is going to work well for us, which I think we have accomplished. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the staircase. You can't do that. Well, I just did. I'm going to put these in place here because they should be able to do all of this. If not, then we'll just backfill all of this because why not? Right? We can also have a tree farm up here. This is space that we have not really used. We could very easily take advantage of. But I am going to leave this little area right here as an option for us to let water in and out. Although I might remove this floodgate here. I might actually place it up here. Might just go ahead and do that. That's going to have to be a triple high floodgate, I think. Yeah, see, if I put that there, then I don't have to worry about this being here. I can just have this little irrigation canal go all the way back through here. Could actually deepen this if I wanted to. But yeah, that is the start of terraforming. It's not going to be a super fast process. It's going to take them quite a while, but we can sit here and watch them do this for a little bit. So that was one of the major goals of today's episode, of course, was to get that started. Next time, we're going to have to focus on putting in the actual water wheels themselves and everything that comes along with that, so we can keep putting our quality of life a little bit higher for the beavers. And that is going to get us one step closer to the end game of having all bots, no beavers working. All the beavers can just enjoy their time doing whatever they want and have a maxed out happiness score, well-being, whatever you want to call it. That is what I would consider to be the end game of this series, would be to have a well-being of 60, no beavers working, everything unlocked, all good to go. And that's when we would end this series. But for now, we have plenty of other stuff to do. These guys will keep going. We have 16 days left of this drought to get to next time, and then probably the temperate season for that. And then we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. As always, comment section's open. If you have anything that you would like to discuss, suggest improvements for, point out something I missed, or just say hi, love to talk to you there. I always read every comment, even though I can't always respond. I do read them, and I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to watch and interact a little bit. We also have Discord. You can find the link in the description. Lots of good stuff going on there, and some really friendly people. So would love to have you be part of that and all that. But if not, that's fine. If you're just here to watch the videos, that is okay too. I appreciate you, and I hope that you're having a fantastic day, whatever it is you're doing. And of course, big, huge thank you to the Beard Boosters who make these possible each and every day with their contributions each month. If you want more information about how to join that, there's links in the description. Of course, you're never obligated. Just glad that you're here. And again, just very thankful for you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.